Good afternoon out there and welcome to MimiLeaks. I'm continuing the unsealed indictment of New York City's Mayor, Eric Adams, who yesterday was indicted on charges that include conspiracy, wire fraud, bribery, and accepting illegal contributions. Today's content mostly discusses the illegal campaign contributions, but before we start, please like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for those that have done so. I would love a shout out if you use any content, and I invite you to do so. As the 2021 mayoral election approaches, Adams continues to solicit and accept illegal campaign contributions. In 2019, Adams travels to Istanbul and solicits foreign contributions. In January 2019, Eric Adams, the defendant, and Adams' partner traveled to Turkey, Jordan, and Oman with the assistance of the promoter. Because Adams made his travel arrangements through the promoter and not through the airline manager, the manager did not upgrade his economy class tickets on the Turkish airline, instead arranging a full upgrade only for Adams' partner. Had the partner purchased her business class ticket, it would have cost approximately $7,000. In an effort to monopolize flight travel as a method of gaining influence with Adams, the airline manager observed that difficulty arose in upgrading him because the arrangement had been made through others. When exchanging messages about another potential trip later in 2019, Adams' staffer requested an upgrade for him from the airline manager and explained in part that, quote, "He learned his lesson last time. We're writing directly to you this time," unquote. After the 2019 trip, Adams exclusively arranged his flights on the Turkish airline through the manager, allowing the manager, the Turkish official, and the Turkish government to increase their influence over him. During his 2019 trip, Adams, the defendant, solicited and accepted travel benefits from the promoter, the Turkish entrepreneur who, as described above, facilitated Adams' second 2015 trip in Turkey, and in 2018 to propose to him via the staffer raised campaign contributions illegally in Turkey. Specifically, Adams solicited and accepted free hotel stays, dinners, and a boat trip, among other things, from the promoter, including a free 2-night stay at the Cosmopolitan Suite of the St. Regis Istanbul. Had Adams paid for a 2-day stay in this luxury suite, the cost would have been approximately $3,000 total. Adams also solicited and accepted from the promoter free transportation, meals, and entertainment, including a car and a driver, a boat tour to the Prince's Island in the Sea of Marmara, a Turkish bath at a seaside hotel, and at least one night at a high-end restaurant. Eric Adams, the defendant, did not report any of the free travel benefits he received during his 2019 stay in Istanbul on his 2019 COIB disclosure form. Eric Adams, the defendant, also solicited unlawful foreign campaign contributions while in Istanbul in January 2019. During his trip, the promoter arranged for him to meet a wealthy Turkish businessman, who will be known as Businessman 3. The Turkish official, through the Adams staffer, discouraged Adams from meeting Businessman 3, who was then under suspicion of wrongdoing. Adams did so nonetheless. During their meeting, Adams and the promoter solicited campaign contributions from Businessman 3, who was a Turkish national, could not lawfully contribute to any U.S. campaign. During their meeting, Adams and this promoter solicited campaign contributions from Businessman 3, who, as a Turkish national, could not lawfully contribute to any U.S. campaign. During their meeting, Businessman 3 arranged to contribute $50,000 or more to the 21 campaign, believing that Adams might one day be President of the United States and hoping to gain influence with him. In subsequent messages, the promoter and Adams staffer discussed how to funnel Businessman 3's planned contributions to the 21 campaign through U.S. straw donors. Before any of the discussed straw donations could occur, however, Businessman 3's legal troubles in Turkey and the United States became more public. Adams declined to meet with Businessman 3 when Businessman 3's later visited New York and did not ultimately contribute to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 3 was not the only wealthy Turkish national from whom Eric Adams, the defendant, sought illegal campaign contributions. Also in 2019, he continued to seek the illegal foreign contributions promised by businessman 1, who is the Turkish national who owned the Turkish university, telling the Adams staffer in a text message to confirm his continued willingness to support the 2021 campaign. Eric Adams, the defendant, continued to conceal benefits he received from foreign nationals seeking to gain influence over him. He did not report any of the 2019 gifts he received from the airline manager or the promoter on his annual disclosure form. In addition, in March 2019, while exchanging text messages to plan another possible trip to Turkey in which the airline manager would arrange travel for Adams, the staffer texted him, quote, "To be on the safe side, please delete all messages you send me," unquote. Adams responded, "Always do." In December 2020, Adams solicits and accepts straw contributions from a New York construction company. In 2020, Eric Adams, the defendant, solicited and received straw donations from a businessman who operated a construction company in the New York City area, known as Businessman 4. Although Businessman 4 was not part of New York's Turkish community, his contributions were sought and made for similar reasons to many of the Turkish nationals and Turkish Americans who the Turkish official and the promoter induced to make illegal contributions to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 4 was a prominent member of a different ethnic community in New York City, and he was told by Adams' representatives that straw contributions would increase Businessman 4's influence and the standing of his community with Adams. In December 2020, and this is A, in December 2020, 2 volunteers for the 2021 campaign who later became employees of Adams at City Hall, known as Adams Employee 1 and Adams Employee 2, and together, the Adams employees, asked Businessman 4 to contribute $10,000 to the 2021 campaign. The Adams employees were liaisons to Businessman 4's community, playing roles similar to the Adams staffer role in the Turkish community. The Adams employees told Businessman 4, among other things, that donating $10,000 would give Businessman 4 influence with Adams, which would help him and his business interests and his community when Adams became mayor, and that gaining such influence with Adams would be more expensive at a later date. B. Businessman 4 agreed to contribute and offered to write a $10,000 check from his company's bank account. The Adams employee informed Businessman 4 that he could not donate through his corporate bank account. C. Businessman 4 then offered to write a $10,000 check from his personal bank account. The Adams employees informed Businessman 4 that he could not donate more than $2,000. The Adams employees then explained that Businessman 4 could instead direct his employees to contribute to the 2021 campaign and then reimburse his employees. Businessman 4 followed the Adams employees' directions. Businessman 4 personally contributed $2,000 to the 2021 campaign and reimbursed 4 of his employees for their $2,000 contributions to the campaign. Businessman 4 and his employees made these contributions at a fundraiser that Adams personally attended, which was held at Businessman 4's offices. E. The 2021 campaign requested and received matching funds for these straw donations. F. After Adams was elected mayor, Businessman 4 sought to benefit from the influence with Adams that the Adams employees assured Businessman 4 would result from the straw contributions. Among other things, Businessman 4 sought assistance from Adams, and the employees were arranging events celebrating the national heritage of Businessman 4's ethnic community, and Adams and the Adams employees worked with Businessman 4 to arrange such events with city sponsorship. G. Businessman 4 also sought and received assistance resolving issues with the New York City Department of Buildings, the DOB, including from Adams himself. On February 5, 2023, he sent a text message to Adams saying, among other things, "I always supported you," but that Businessman 4 was having a hard time with DOB getting a stop work order lifted, and that although Adams' staff had insisted, "We reached a certain limit that you can only lift." Adams responded, "Let me look at this." Approximately a week and a half later, Businessman 4 replied to Adams, quote, "Mayor, brother, I want to thank you for your help. DOB issue partially resolved, and they promised to expedite the process. Thank you. You have my continued support," unquote. In May 2021, Adams receives straw contributions from another New York construction company as arranged by the Turkish official. Eric Adams, the defendant, accepted support from the Turkish official through the 2021 campaign, and the Turkish official repeatedly informed him that he was providing such support. When a fundraising effort organized and facilitated by the Turkish official failed to raise the amount of funds that the official had promised Adams, the Turkish official told Adams and the Adams staffer that he would close the gap by obtaining sufficient funds from other sources to reach the promised amount. In May 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, sought and accepted straw donations from another businessman, Businessman 5 hereafter, who operated another construction company in the NYC area. Businessman 5 was a prominent member of NYC's Turkish community and made these donations at the behest of the Turkish official. In January 2021, the Turkish official messaged the Adams staffer, asking for a meeting with Adams. The Turkish official and the Adams staffer then exchanged messages. In these messages, the Turkish official explains that the meeting will be in regards to the 2021 mayoral election campaign and the support the Turkish community can provide to him. B. Adams, the Turkish official, the airline manager, the Adams staffer, and the lead fundraiser for the 21 campaign, known as the Adams Fundraiser, met at a restaurant for dinner on February 14, 2021. At the dinner, which must have been very romantic as it was Valentine's Day, the Turkish official committed to support the 2021 campaign. The Turkish official then organized a large dinner to plan specific donations to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 5, the Turkish official, Adams, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer attended that dinner. That occurred on April 2, 2021. At the dinner, Adams explained the matching funds program and solicited contributions from Businessman 5. D. After the April 2, 2021 dinner, Businessman 5 worked with the Turkish official, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer, among others, to plan a fundraiser for Adams. Businessman 5 attempted to recruit others in the construction community and the Turkish community, writing in part, quote, "This may feel like swimming against the current, but unfortunately, this is how things work in this country," unquote. The day before the scheduled fundraiser, the Turkish official sent Businessman 5 at least one check, and Businessman 5 sent the official a message confirming that, quote, "As of now, the checks that reached us are $17,000, unquote. E. On May 7th, 2021, Businessman 5 held a fundraiser for the 21 campaign at his construction company's offices. Adams, Businessman 5, the Adams fundraiser, and the Adams staffer attended. The Turkish official did not attend, but sent his driver to deliver several additional contribution checks. Prior to the fundraiser, Businessman 5's construction company, at his direction, had provided $1,250 per employee to 10 of its employees. Each of these employees then contributed that amount to the 2021 campaign, with exception of one employee who donated in his wife's name and another who donated $1,200 of the funds. The Adams staffer then sent the Turkish official a list of the contributions collected at the fundraiser. F. Following the fundraiser, the Turkish official sent Businessman 5 a message asking how much is the total, to which Businessman 5 replied, quote, "I think I got to 22. He just left. The girls, Adams' assistants, were very happy," unquote. The Turkish official subsequently asked the staffer to tell Adams, "We will continue supporting you," which the Adams staffer did. G. The 2021 campaign requested matching funds for 8 of these straw donations that were made in the name of NYC residents, fraudulently obtaining public funds for which the campaign was not entitled. In September 2021, Adams accepts straw contributions from a Turkish national. In 2021, Businessman 1, the Turkish national who owned the Turkish University, attempted to make good on his earlier commitments to contribute to Eric Adams, the defendant. Adams and Businessman 1 used the promoter and the Adams staffer, among others, to devise and execute a plan to funnel Businessman 1's money to the 2021 campaign, knowing full well that these donations would violate the law against U.S. political campaigns receiving contributions from foreign nationals. A. On July 9, 2021, the Adams staffer exchanged messages with Adams about fundraising from the Turkish University, among other sources. Adams explained that he was not doing an in-person fundraiser for less than $25,000. B. On July 11, 2021, the Adams staffer asked the promoter how much would be donated, explaining in a message that she needed to tell Adams a net number. When the promoter explained that the requisite number of straw donors could not be gathered, the Adams staffer offered to help with that aspect of the scheme. The promoter responded, then great. And when the Adams staffer then wrote, "From what I gather, you'll distribute the money," the promoter responded yes. The Adams staffer later told Adams that the estimated total amount of foreign donations would be $45,000. C. In August 2021, the promoter, the Adams staffer, and the president of the Turkish University's American campus, which will be the university president hereafter, exchanged messages and voice notes explicitly discussing the plan to funnel Businessman One's contribution to the campaign through the Turkish University's U.S.-based employees. The promoter assured the Adams staffer that these employees are U.S. citizens and green card holders. The Adams staffer told Adams about the plan to funnel Businessman One's contribution through U.S.-based straw donors, and Adams approved the plan, knowing that Businessman One was a Turkish citizen. D. In August 27, 2021, the university president messaged the Adams staffer that the Turkish University would donate $20,000 to the campaign by dividing it amongst our employees in appropriate amounts. The Adams staffer responded that if the donation is not more than $25,000, then Mr. President, referring to Adams, who was then a Brooklyn Borough president, does not participate in person. The university president then informed the Adams staffer that in addition to the Turkish community's contribution, others would donate to reach the $25,000 threshold. E. On August 27, 2021, the university president informed the Adams staffer that the Turkish University would donate only $10,000. Because that meant Adams would no longer appear at in-person events, the Adams staffer asked the Adams fundraiser to create an internet link through which the Turkish University straw donors could contribute. In a series of messages with Adams and the Adams staffer, the Adams fundraiser sent the link to the staffer to remind the staffer of the mechanics of the plan they had discussed, that the foreign donations would be concealed by routing them through U.S.-based straw donors who could lawfully contribute to in their own names. Adams wrote the Adams staffer and the Adams fundraiser, quote, "We can't take any money from people who are not U.S. citizens," unquote. The Adams staffer inquired, "What about the green card holders?" The Adams fundraiser responded, quote, "Yes, we can," unquote, confirming that the promoter's plan was to use green card holders as straw donors and it would work. F. The Turkish University ultimately made its straw contributions on September 27, 2021, when 3 U.S.-based employees of the Turkish University made $2,000 contributions to the 2021 campaign and were then reimbursed, as directed by Businessman One and the university president. The university president and another U.S.-based employee of the Turkish University each made $2,000 of contributions from their own funds. The contributions occurred during a period when the 2021 campaign had begun to wind down fundraising and were ultimately refunded by the campaign, but not before Adams submitted a disclosure statement to the CFB that falsely claimed the U.S.-based Turkish University employees were the true donors. G. On November 2, 2021, Adams was declared the winner of the 2021 mayoral election. The next day, Businessman One and the promoter exchanged messages. And to summarize these messages, the promoter reached out to the businessman to let him know that unofficially it appears Adams was elected, that the promoter would likely be assigned as a representative, and that the promoter then would talk to elders in Ankara about how to use this scheme to an advantage for Turkey. H. The promoter also celebrated Adams' prospects with additional people, telling others, including Adams himself, that Adams would soon be President of the United States. Similarly, the Turkish official wrote to the Adams staffer that given Adams' increase in prominence, at this point, the foreign minister of Turkey is personally paying attention to him, and Adams should not bother with his other Turkish benefactors. All told, the 2021 campaign reaped over $10 million in matching funds based on the false certificates that the campaign complied with the law, when in fact Eric Adams, the defendant, knowingly and repeatedly relied on illegal contributions. In 2021, Adams accepts bribes from the Turkish official and intervenes on the Turkish official's behalf with the fire prevention chief. In 2021, Eric Adams, the defendant, intervened with the FDNY to permit the Turkish consulate to occupy a skyscraper that had not passed a fire safety inspection in exchange for, among other things, luxury travel benefits provided by the Turkish official and the airline manager. In late 2021, the defendant sought luxury travel to Turkey arranged by the Turkish official and the airline manager. When the Adams staffer began coordinating this travel for Adams at Adams' direction, Adams again attempted to create a false record suggesting he would pay on his own way, when in fact Adams had the Adams staffer coordinate with the airline manager to provide him with free and steeply discounted travel benefits. Adams approved the itinerary and, to create the false impression of payment, the Turkish official, Adams, and the Adams staffer agreed that Adams would collect invoices from vendors in Turkey regardless of whether he actually paid, and would make some small credit card payments to conceal the fact that he was taking a vacation that was mostly paid for by the Turkish government. A. On June 22, 2021, Adams, through the Adams staffer, requested that the airline manager book flights to Istanbul for Adams. In order to conceal the favorable treatment, the Adams staffer requests that the airline manager charges Adams what would be a more real price. In the text messages, to summarize, Adams staffer asks for a price on the travel. The airline manager says that because it is last minute, it's going to be expensive, then offers to charge only $50. The staffer then requests a more realistic charge of $1,000 due to Adams's media attention and his every step being watched. Adams paid approximately $1,100 for each round-trip economy tickets on the Turkish airline for himself and for his partner, which would immediately upgrade to the business class at no cost. Had Adams purchased business class tickets on the open market, they would have cost more than $15,000 total. B. At Adams' direction, the Adams staffer also coordinated luxury lodging for Adams and his partner, which would be secretly provided at no cost to Adams, as the airline staffer and the airline manager discussed. In summarizing the text exchange, the airline manager offers the Four Seasons as a place to stay for Adams during his Turkey trip. The Adams staffer first says it's too expensive, but then agrees when the manager reminds the staffer there won't be a paper trail. The Turkish official also arranged an itinerary for Adams and Adams' partner in Turkey, which, in addition to staying at the Four Seasons, would include a yacht tour, a 3-day stay at a luxury beach resort, a car, a driver, and domestic flight between Istanbul and the resort. The Adams staffer forwarded details of this itinerary to Adams. To assist Adams in concealing the nature and extent of the travel benefits he was soliciting and accepting, the Turkish official suggested a nominal price of approximately $720, although the true price of this itinerary would have been approximately $8,500 or more. Adams approves the itinerary and the nominal price. D. On June 26, 2021, the same day the trip was supposed to start, the Adams staffer informed the Turkish official and the airline manager that Adams was canceling his trip. The airline refunded Adams' payment for the economy class tickets, the only payment Adams had made for late June 2021 trip was this one to Istanbul. Around the time of this cancellation, Eric Adams, the defendant, solicited various travel benefits for the Adams fundraiser. That person is the 2021 campaign's chief fundraiser, who was noted above, helped coordinate the straw contributions from businessman Five's construction company a month earlier, and did so from the Turkish official and the airline manager. Continuing their efforts to influence Adams, the Turkish official and the airline manager ultimately provided the fundraiser with transportation from the airport, a free hotel, and free use of VIP rooms in the Turkish Airlines business class lounge. On June 27, 2021, when the Adams fundraiser was scheduled to travel to Istanbul, Adams created a message thread between himself, the fundraiser, and the Turkish official. Adams informed the official that the fundraiser would be arriving in Istanbul shortly and needed transportation from the airport and a hotel, which the official promptly arranged. When Adams suggested that he would pay for the fundraiser's expense, the Turkish official told Adams, quote, "Eric, no prob. It was set through Turkish hospitality services. I hope she enjoyed her stay," unquote. Adams responded, quote, "It was amazing. Thanks for all the coordination and attention," unquote. In the same message thread with Adams, the official also provided the fundraiser with a fake bill for the hotel stay to allow Adams and the fundraiser to create the appearance that the Adams fundraiser had paid for her hotel stay, when in fact, as Adams knew, she had not. On the day the Adams fundraiser was scheduled to depart Istanbul, Adams created a message thread between herself, the fundraiser, and the airline manager. Adams wrote, quote, "Adams fundraiser, this is the airline manager. 1. He will try to help the issue with the form. 2. He can see about a hotel or the business class lounge," unquote. The airline manager then arranged for the Adams fundraiser, who was otherwise flying in an economy ticket, to have access not only to the airline's business lounge, but also to private suites inside the lounge, complete with a bed and free food. The manager explained, quote, "This is our suite for VIPs, and we want you to feel yourself," unquote. At another point in this exchange, Adams wrote, "Thanks a million, airline manager. My brother," to which the airline manager responded, "Anytime, brother." Eric Adams, the defendant, and the Turkish official understood that in exchange for the benefits described in paragraphs 34 and 35, the future travel benefits for Adams was expected to assist the Turkish official in the operation of the Turkish consulate in New York. On July 6, 2021, Adams, the defendant, declared victory in his party's mayoral primary. On the morning of July 7th, the manager sent Adams the following message, "Brother, congratulations." Adams responded, "Cannot thank you enough." After this is when we get into the consulate and getting a certificate of occupancy and passing inspection and so on. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow, which means we will more than likely have 3 different recordings of this, for now anyway, and then I'll later combine them into one. As always, thank you for liking my content, for subscribing, and simply for watching. Talk again very soon. Bye-bye.